ace match. It was tied up 1-1. It was so close, but I believe we are going to be getting started with our next series. It's going to be Beep Beep versus Lupe. Lupe?
I'm going to go with Lupe.
Lupe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we'll see how much of a fiasco it is, as it already looks like Lupe being pretty aggressive over here, getting the ball and really just keeping it over on Beep Beep's side of the map.
Yeah, interesting here, the absence of the second blue player. We didn't get a catch a glimpse of where they are, but they are playing a little bit more defensive, it looks like, from Beep Beep, having that one man in the goal constantly. You can see his hesitation to even leave the goalie box at this point, even as the ball comes a little bit closer. It looks like we're going to get a nice breakaway shot here. Can they do something with it? Yeah,
now we have the goalie moving out, being a little bit further aggressive. No, now moving back. It's exactly as you were saying, just really playing that defensive game. And it's actually working out quite well because they have been able to bounce that ball immediately out of their zone constantly.
Definitely. It looks like we have an accidental center on their own goal from the orange team, but it looks like it's going to get bounced back. Nice breakaway here. This will almost certainly be a goal.
Oh, Lupe.
A little wide there from Lupe. Just lost control of it, unfortunately. And it ends up going in anyway.
Yeah, and actually that was one of the defenders. They were sitting back a little bit further. I think that they may have been gathering up that boost, and they saw that opportunity and said, you know what? I could play the defense. It's actually a really dangerous spot right there, I think, where if suddenly he misses that, there's nobody back at home to defend. So the aggression pays off.
Those are the perils of the 2v2 versus the 3v3. That extra man just not being there to make up for the slack.
Yeah, but I'm really actually liking the way that Lupe has been playing this. They've been playing aggressive, but they keep that one person back.
It looks like a ball bounces right into the goal again with minimal effort there. Nobody there to defend. Everybody just kind of going for it at once there, all clustered in one spot. That is a recipe for a goal there.
And, you know, it's really important to actually talk a little bit about, like, the psychological aspect of the game, because when you're against a player or a team that's a little bit more defensive with one of their players, you feel a lot more comfortable because you feel like you can take a lot more risks.
Right.
When you're up against a team that's just being really aggressive, it's a lot harder to do that. And
again, just running drills is the orange team on our blue team. Beep Beep here. Just a quick bounce off the wall and just nice little nudge in there. Great control.
Yeah, Beep Beep is really starting to struggle. Lupe definitely earning his record label album.
Looks like we might get another center here off the wall. Looking to make another play here is Lupe. Oh, that would have surely made it in the goal, but a nice defense by Beep Beep. And it looks like we're going to make it down to the other end of the field here. Can the orange team make a nice defense here?
Well, doing a pretty good job of it so far. The ball definitely much further on the left-hand side of the map, so allows Team Lupe to get into a nice defensive position well in time. And, they have an open opportunity over here. Going for the flying shot. They almost managed to get it, but Beep Beep comes in with the defense.
Great effort there by Lupe to get that ball into the goal. Loving the aerial attempt there. I'd like to see more of those here tonight.
Yeah, and we're going to need to see maybe some of those out of Beep Beep if they want to bring themselves back in the game. We're already almost at halftime for this particular match, or this particular round, I should say.
I agree with that statement a lot, Ravi. If you're playing from behind, you've got to take risks, right? You can't just continue to play standard as you are. You may just continue to fall behind, or just maybe even play that ping pong back and forth game at that point. You got to take risks.
And that's where it gets really scary over here. So we finally do see Beep Beep putting one on the scoreboard. But when you're up against a team that is just constantly aggressive, constantly ready, as you see both of the teams actually already in there. They're on the other side of the map trying to get aggressive, but you always feel a little bit hesitant to try and put both of your guys and be aggressive. It becomes like a knife fight.
Absolutely. Like I said before, once you see that first player on your team miss in a 2v2 scenario, you got to kind of play a little bit more defensive. It is a huge risk to go in on that ball, and Beep Beep just kind of capitalizing on the risks Lupe is taking. Very close there. Beautiful defense.
Yeah, the second car coming in from Beep Beep for the defense. And they're going to have a hard time continuing on that into aggression, though. They're not quite set up in a good position. They are getting to a better position, though, as Lupe tries to move in for another score.
A couple nice little boost jumps there to try to get the angle they're looking for to center the ball on the goal. Looking to make their fourth goal of the night here is Lupe. But as we make our way into orange territory, it's going to get a little harder and harder. As I say that, the ball bounces quite conveniently into the front of the goal. Lupe looking to capitalize on this. Two wide shots here, not going to find the back of the net.
Yeah, you know, one thing I've really got to commend Lupe on doing is that oftentimes when they're going for those shots, actually, as I say that, Beep Beep gets a bit of commendation as they manage to put yet another score on the board. Maybe just taking a little bit of time to find their groove.
Absolutely. It looks like we finally have a game on our hands here in Game 1 as we almost get towards that equalizer.
But, you know, Lupe, when they are controlling the ball, you'll notice they always are really good about keeping that ball in front of them, never really overtaking it or, you know, shooting it too far into the corner and letting it bounce behind them. Beep Beep.
Oh.
Ooh, getting in a very dangerous position. Oh, there's the score. Lupe doubling the score once again.
Yeah, it looks like they're really looking to set themselves apart from their opponents here. Not looking to let them catch up anytime soon. With just a minute left, that puts Beep Beep in a very tough position to score 2 goals with just over a minute remaining here.
Yeah, we saw in that replay that Beep Beep just a little bit too far or back in the goal, but Beep Beep setting themselves up in a nice position. We're starting to see the defenders trying to decide, do I go in? And it does!
Great aerial goal there. Wonderful boost jump right on point. Perfect angle right under the back of the net. Let's take another look at that.
Oh, beautiful shot. And it's, again, that decision-making moment where you say, I'm on the defensive. Do I go for it? The aerial is always going to be a little bit riskier. But you know what? When it pays off big.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Almost every goal we've seen here out of Beep Beep, we've seen both players from Team Lupe kind of behind the ball, out of position. Looks like we are seeing a lot more regression out of the orange team than we are seeing the blue. And that kind of explains the score, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think definitely it does. Beep Beep trying to get the clear over here, and now moving a bit on the defensive. They do manage to get a pretty good clear, and they're going to be able to set this up, and a great bounce off. He might be able to take this into the goal. No, Lupe has something to say about that.
Yeah, he gets there right in time. If he would have missed that block there, that would have surely been a goal. Ooh. Just wide here from Lupe. Beep Beep's really going to have to get this clear out of here if they don't want another goal on their end.
Yeah, Lupe is content just keeping the ball on Beep Beep's side of the field because you know what? They only have to kill 17 more seconds and they will be the victors in round number 1. It's on to Beep Beep. They have to get this ball onto the other side of the map.
7 seconds left to perform the equalizer. We could see a nice little breakaway here, but Lupe is there for the defense, tying up the ball for the remainder of the period. And it looks like
final shot, not going to pay off.
Game 1.
Lupe taking game number 1, taking the lead and never giving it up, despite the fact that Beep Beep did a pretty good job of almost closing the gap.
Definitely. This series is far from over. This is a very, very good matchup between two pretty good teams. I think they're pretty evenly matched here. One team a little bit more aggressive than the other, and that's kind of paying off for them right now. But again, it's giving opportunities to Beep Beep to make those goals when they're finding both of their opponents out of position. Wide open net.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you're saying where it's the aggression, and I think we were talking about this earlier, or at least I was saying, that the aggression can really pay off once you get that lead. You put that pressure, that psychological pressure on your opponent, saying that you are always going to have to be aware, you're always going to have to be ready to defend because we could take a huge risk and knock to your side of the map, but you know, if you can get that good defense up, Beep Beep definitely will start to look better as the game went on.
Right.
And maybe that's all they needed. They just needed that warm-up time, and now in round number 2, they're going to be ready for it.
I truly believe aggression is the name of the game in a 2v2 scenario. 3v3, you do have to play a little bit more conservative, but here we do have Beep Beep going for the goal. Looks like the save is just shy there. We'll have to take a look at the replay, but that was a great laser beam from the corner there.
Yeah, this is the first time that they actually put themselves into the lead in the round, as in the last round they were constantly playing from behind. This definitely gives them a lot more room to work with, where they can play a little bit more of that defensive game if they want to. They don't have to go on the aggression, but I think, as you were saying, it may behoove them to be on the aggression.
Right, definitely. I mean, Beep Beep is more inclined to be a little bit more defensive. We're always seeing that one back in the corner, leaving their other player to go 1v2 to get a goal. But I think they're feeling pretty good about that early lead. Yeah,
they are moving really, really well right now. Not quite set up for a shot over here, but as we end up seeing Lupe get the clear. Oh, it's a free goal over here as the charge on goes through. And Lupe ties up the score.
Really got to get those.
Yeah, you gotta. It's about that punishing, I would say, where you punished your opponent for getting a little bit too aggressive. And, you know, it's that change up in style that we were talking about. Beep Beep getting a little bit more aggressive, but when you miss those aggressive shots, you have to punish your opponent.
Absolutely. And it looked like our opposing team there was a little bit shy on the boost end, not really being able to match the speed of the aggressor.
Here we go. Lupe trying to put on that pressure once again. Keeping the ball on this side of the court. It is again tied up 1-1, so it's either team's game.
That defender finally leaving the goal there to kind of knock the ball onto the other end there. Both players looking like they wanted to defend there, but one of them had to take that initiative and go for the ball. As we'll see another player kind of fall back, defaulting to the goal, making sure that they capitalize on this. Very nice clear there.
Oh, really good beast back over there as BP gets back in time to defend, but is it going to be enough? Oh, just barely missing the shot a little bit too high.
Right off the crossbar there.
Yeah, very, very close, but that was almost a very, very solid punish from Lupe.
Right.
I almost called him Loop Loop.
Loop Loop. Looks like we're going to get another opportunity here for Lupe. Nice center off the wall there. Can somebody come in to dunk it in? It looks like it will go in just off the side bar there.
Yeah.
Nice little ricochet into the back of the net.
Flying shot almost acts as a bit of a distraction and ends up forcing out the jump from both of the teams.
Yeah, it looks like he didn't trust in his opponent or his teammate very, very much there, but he was there to kind of pick up the slack where he had missed the shot.
Yeah, and again, I want to know it's one of those aggressive plays because, of course, if your teammate misses the shot and you miss the shot, there is absolutely nothing back at home to defend, and your opponents are definitely going to go straight for that goal.
Breakaway opportunities available at that point.
But speaking of potential opportunities over here, Lupe almost sitting at that halfway mark on the round. Currently sitting up 2-1.
Wide open net.
Oh! Seeing the series tied up once again, 2-2.
Yeah, you really got to get these picks here. This is just a wide open net. Both players had missed the ball. Beep Beep coming in for the equalizer. They would be pretty upset with themselves if they let something like that go to waste. Great opportunity there. Even better capitalizing on that.
You know, I really do believe where both of the teams are starting to play a little bit more aggressively is really going to come down to the base mechanics of who can control better, who is going to be able to get those shots off more consistently.
Man, finds himself in front of the ball in a very
nice.
awkward position. It's not easy to recover from that and go back the other direction. It takes time. He can't just simply hit the reverse. He wouldn't make it. He tries to get the circle around and just cannot get there in time to stop the ball from hitting the back of the net.
Yeah, really well done over there by Lupe as they once again take the lead 3-2. We're at 2 minutes and 22 seconds.
What a great series this is. Both teams neck and neck in terms of skill.
Ooh. Lupe trying to get really, really aggressive over there with the boost. And, both of their cars not exactly in the best scoring position.
I was wondering where he was from Team Lupe. I knew he was going to come in and try to make a pass at that ball.
Oh.
Nice little center here.
Oh, we're seeing a setup for the shot. Can he get it? And, good
just
flying,
misses. Wide open net now for Lupe. Can they get it in? And they will. Setting us apart by 2.
Lupe finally starting to secure a bit of a good lead. Still got 2 minutes left on the clock, though, so still plenty of time for Beep Beep to try and make this comeback. But you got to start making that comeback immediately. Time is starting to run out.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too tough to get the 2 goals here. Granted, they don't allow for any more on their own end. 2 minutes is definitely enough time to make a comeback here, at least take us into overtime. But we'll have to see how this plays out as Lupe is really putting on the heat.
Beep Beep dribbling it alongside that wall, just trying to clear it out of the area. Now potentially setting up for a shot. Not going to be able to do it. Lupe clears it out just in time.
Almost yet another breakaway opportunity there, really finding that the all-in strategies of Beep Beep being played against them.
Yeah. Lupe going to get back in time. We're seeing yet another setup for a shot, and defenders do not manage to get it, but the shot does go a little bit too short.
Yeah, that could have certainly been a goal there if the angle was right for that rocket jump there. It looks like they'll have to defend now.
Yeah, good defense over there. Getting the ball just as it's going down to the ground.
Good clear there as well.
Seen a lot of really close shots. A lot of shots just getting just shy of the goal, but not quite making it in.
Just under a minute remaining, and Lupe puts another one up on the board, hoping to seal the deal on this best-of-3 series.
Yeah, good follow-up, and I think, again, goes down to that positioning as well as a little bit of that boost management, making sure that you're in the right position and you can follow it up without letting your opponents catch back up with you.
Yeah, definitely not letting those opportunities go to waste. Lupe's kind of got the science behind these breakaway opportunities, clearing the ball over both of the opponents as they boost towards the ball and kind of make that goal happen.
Very high flying shot over there from Lupe. Not quite going to make it anywhere. But ball, really, when it gets to being those big jumps,
Great demolition there as we go down to 2-on-1 for just those 3 seconds there. They're trying to make a play, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Yeah, BP
almost
not going to have to defend over there, but it does get close.
I thought that was going in for a moment there. He could not get a read on that angle. It seemed like the game had just paused to watch to see where that ball was going to bounce. Just 13 seconds ticking away here left on the clock, and it looks like Lupe is ready to close out this series.
Yeah,
2-0.
Lupe definitely did a great job of setting up a lot of those shots. Gets one final score in, going from 2-5 to 2-6, where they can now say we won, tripling our opponent's score. That's a pretty comfortable spot to go into.
Yeah, they started making this look like a close series. Now they're really displaying and putting on the heat, making that skill difference look even better.
Yeah, maybe looking for one final goal. Probably not going to be able to get it, but oh, well. Got a little bit closer. You do not want to go down 2-7 at the last second. That's
GG's to both teams. That was a great series to watch. I really enjoyed that. Probably one of my favorites of the night so far.